Hi, I'm Chris Matten from PwC. I'm here at the Risk Minds Conference in Amsterdam 2014, and today I'm joined by Professor Charles Calomiris, who's just been talking at the conference. So Charles, perhaps you could just explain to us what you were talking about at the conference and what your main thesis was.
I was talking about capital requirements, policies. Are they too low right now? If they're too low, how do we know that? What are the costs and what are the benefits of raising them? And then finally, how do we integrate those with other kinds of policies that are being discussed? Liquidity requirements, COCO requirements. What's the use of all of this from a macro-prudential standpoint? So I was basically giving a primer on how to think about capital requirements and where we are with all of those issues.
And do you have a view on where those capital requirements should be? Do you think this, as we heard yesterday from a number of speakers, that even with when Basel III is fully phased in, that the capital levels of banks will still be too low? What's your take on that?
Well, yes, actually I do think that they should be raised. I'm not thrilled with the way the Basel system is set up to rely so much on exclusively on the risk-based book equity requirements. So I think that some of these other issues about integrating these with COCOs of a particular kind and with reserve requirements are very promising. I don't think that book equity requirements by themselves tend to be reliably effective. And yes, I do think that they do need to be raised. So my own view would be, based on experience or current measures of risk, that bank capital ratios are still a bit too low.
Okay, where do you think the leverage ratio should be, or where capital?
Well, let's say around 10% equity relative to assets would be a range that I would think would be.
So a 10 times leverage ratio rather than the 33.
And then something like about an additional 10% of COCOs, and on the asset side about 20% of interest-bearing cash.
Okay. Interesting. And I understand you just got a new book out. So Fragile by Design, I understand, was just voted one of the books of the year by the Financial Times, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell us about your book.
Well, it's a study of the history of banking fragility in 5 countries, the US, the UK, Canada, Mexico, and Brazil. And it traces the political origins, if you like, the political deals that tend to give rise to bad outcomes in the banking sector over the past 400 years or so.
Oh wow, sounds very interesting. I'll get myself a copy.
Well,
so Charles, thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure, thank you.